Welcome to our Monday morning session. So let's start with an oil. I'm using peppermint today, and today's the first day of a new moon. So it's a good day to start something new. I'm doing a digital detox with my friend this week, and we're putting like serious limits on our phones so that we can't be on our phones so much. So it's a good time to set something new, start journaling, start a new practice. Not doing yoga today. you guys both come. Let's just take a moment, inhale an oil, connect to your breath. And just connect to your breath, breathing into the belly. Drawing the navel back to the spine. Just arriving in your space. We're going to take some energizing breathing today. So we're going to work with our Bhastrika breath. And this is the balanced inhale where the belly goes out and the exhale, the belly goes back. So we're going to do this with some movement, but I just want to show you and just go through it, okay? And this is a breath that stimulates the digestion, really gets us fired up, gets the brain going. So good for a Monday morning. So the belly goes out, we inhale, belly goes back, we exhale. Okay, and you can do it as slow or as fast as you like. So actually, let me just put my sound on just so you can hear me. Sounds like it's all clear with my dogs. So here we go. So it's a, or it can be a slower. Okay, so you go as fast or as slow, but it's a rhythmic inhale, exhale. So just do it with me, just a few times so you get the hang, and then we're going to stand up and do some movement. Okay, so here we go. So we'll just do 5 together. So and sometimes things pop out of your nose, so you might need to blow your nose, which is good, it's clearing. Okay, so you've got the hang of it. And a few times today, I'm going to invite you to bring your tongue to your upper palate to stimulate the pituitary gland, the master gland, okay? So we're going to start standing. And we're going to bring the movement in. Let me just move my camera back a little bit so you can see my head. Hopefully you can still see me. Yeah, hopefully you can still see me. Right, okay, so we're going to interlace the hands. Feet are just slightly wider than hip distance. And we're going to do that same breathing. And this is part of the hormone yoga sequence, just to get our hormones nice and balanced on this Monday morning. Okay, so we inhale, the arms come up, and we exhale, they come down. So this movement, the belly goes out, belly goes back. Here we go. Last 2. Keep your hands up, press up, engage pelvic floor, bring tongue to palate. Retain the breath for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale fully. And now we're going to do the breath as we move from side to side. 3, 2, and 1. And then bring your hands, bring them behind your head, bend your knees, and we're going to do the same movement where we get sexy and move the hips. So we're getting into the sacrum, into the pelvis. Okay, so we take an inhale, exhale. That's it, really get sexy. Right, left. That's it, move the booty. Well done, Cora. Keep the breath. 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale, straighten the legs, bring your tongue to the palate, retain the breath, engage pelvic floor. Hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Beautiful. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. So your 3 fingers come in and your index finger, your peace finger and your thumb are pointing up. Inhale, take the hands up to the sky and bring your right leg over your left, okay? Inhale, stretch up, and then we're going to exhale, come forward. Now see how your low back's feeling. You may just come to here, or maybe you bring the hands all the way down to the floor, or you can take hold of the elbows. And we're going to do that pumping again, really to get the digestion fired up, okay? So we inhale, we exhale. Here we go, 10 pumps. 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands together again, peace finger facing up to the sky. Inhale, stretch up. Bring the hands to the heart and change legs. So the opposite leg goes over. Inhale, peace finger and thumb pointing up. Exhale, slowly fold forward. Bring your hands to the floor or take elbows. Let the head drop down. Inhale. Exhale, clear the breath out. Here we go, 10 pumps. Moving the energy. 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands all the way up. Bring your tongue to your palate. Hold the breath. Engage pelvic floor. Coming all the way up, Cora. And then bring your hands to your heart. Beautiful. And then let's step towards the front of the mat. Feet hip distance. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, float forward, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, look ahead. Exhale, step your legs back to plank pose. Drop your knees, drop your torso, find your cobra, your upward facing dog, press into the feet and the legs. Exhale, release down, press back. Take a child's pose with the knees wide, with the feet together, find that space in your body. I'm going to move my camera so you can see me on the floor a little bit. Inhale, curling up to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, clear it out. And again, inhale. Exhale. Step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, look forwards. Halfway lift, exhale, fold in. Inhale, root to rise. Bring your hands up over your head. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment, connect into your feet. And again, inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor, ground, step back to plank pose. Take a little moment in plank pose, a little tuck of the tailbone, a little arching of the spine. Breathe here. Exhale. Drop your knees, drop your torso, keep the upper arms hugging in. Inhale, find cobra or sphinx. Opening up to this Monday morning. Exhale, release down, press back to all fours, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a little pedal out of the feet in downward facing dog, just releasing, let the head go. Take a breath. Bring your left foot across to the middle of the mat and lift your right leg up as high as feels nice to you. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, draw your thigh into your belly, stack your shoulders over your wrists. And again, and if this is too strong, drop the left knee. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, last one, lift it up. Exhale, plant your foot in between your hands. Lift your hands coming up into your high lunge. Let's take a couple of little pulses here. Opening up into the back thigh. Beautiful. Last one. Inhale, stretch up, find pelvic floor. Exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Step back to plank pose. And then lift up again into downward facing dog. We're working some energy this morning. Bring your right foot across to the middle. Lift your left leg. Find a nice stretch, maybe come onto the tippy toe of the right foot, back of the neck long, take an inhale. Exhale, draw thigh to belly, stack shoulders over wrists. Draw navel to spine, working the core. Waking up into this new moon phase. Last one, draw it in. Inhale, extend, and then plant your foot in between your hands. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Soften the back knee. Take some little pulses here. Little lift of the pelvic floor. Draw navel back to spine. Connecting to your strength. High lunge. Plant your hands down either side of that front foot. Step back to plank pose. Take a breath here. Drop your knees. Drop your torso. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Releasing down onto the belly. Bring your hands so your palms are facing the floor, your arms are straight. Take an inhale. Either just lift through the torso or lift the toes and the torso. Inhale, opening the heart. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, lifting. Draw the shoulders back, down the back body. And release. Last one. Lift up. Opening to the new. And releasing down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press back. Take a little breath in child's pose. Find that space. Let go. And release. Coming up to all fours. Bring your knees. Lift your hips. Find downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Find that stillness. Bring your left foot across to the middle of the mat. Take your right leg up to the sky. Option to fan the right leg over to the left hand side and look underneath the left armpit and see if you can see the sole of the foot. Inhale, lifting the leg. Exhale, planting the foot in between your hands, swiveling the hips as we come up into warrior two. So shoulders down away from the ears, looking over the right finger, pressing into the feet, hugging the heel and the arch towards each other. So we're really working on the legs. From here, we're going to move into dancing warrior. Left hand onto back thigh, right arm up and over. Just three little flows here. The legs are very stable, they're not moving. Pressing down into the feet. Last one. So options here to come into the easier variation where we bring the forearm down to the thigh and we bring the left arm up to the ear, or to make it a little bit harder, we take both arms up diagonally and keep pressing into the feet and keep breathing. Choose your option. One more breath, stay with me. Press into the feet and rise back up to your warrior. From here, bringing the left hand down to the thigh, the front arm up and over. Option again to bring the forearm down to the thigh, or to bring the hand down to a block on the inner arch of the foot and press your arm into your leg and your leg into your arm. Try not to dump too much into that block, and this is just an option. You can stay with the easier variation. Bring your left arm up to the sky or skim the ear and keep drawing this left shoulder and the left side of the rib cage open. One more breath. Press into the feet, root to rise, coming all the way up. Windmill your hands down, either side of the front foot. Step back to plank pose. Lift up, coming into downward facing dog. Take a breath. Settle into your breath. Bring your right foot across to the middle of the mat. Take the left leg up to the sky. Option to drop the right knee if this is strong, or just fan the leg over. Look underneath your armpit. See if you can see the sole of your foot. Inhale, lift the leg up to the sky. Exhale, plant your foot in between your hands and swivel your legs around so that you come into warrior two on the other side. Knee in alignment to the ankle. Pressing the feet down and drawing the thighs together. Drop shoulders down away from ears so the neck is long. Dancing warrior. The legs don't move, the legs are your roots. The movement is just coming from the upper body. Beautiful, Cora. Moving that life force energy, that prana around the body, and then bringing the thigh down, bringing your right arm up. It can skim the ear if that feels sweet for your shoulder. Draw that right arm back, open up through the right ribs. Really breathing down into your root. One more breath. Option to stay here or to make it harder and bring both arms up to the sky. Quite a lot stronger on the legs, so see how you do. Staying with me, we're loading the bones, strengthening the bones. One more breath. Press into the feet and rise up. Take a breath. From here, we're going to come down again, either into the same variation or having a block by the arch of your foot. If you don't have the block, that's fine, but just try not to collapse the torso forward. And breathing here, feeling that strength in the legs on this Monday morning. One more breath. Beautiful, root to rise, coming up. Windmill your hands down either side of the front foot. Step back to plank pose. Drop your knees, drop your torso, float all the way down. Interlace your hands behind you. Or just keep the hands extended and facing down if the bind doesn't feel good. So you've got to bind the hands. And then from here, just lift up the torso first of all. And then release down. And then option to lift up the torso and the feet at the same time. Drawing your heels towards your wrists, opening up the heart. One more breath. And then release down. Pressing back. Coming into a child pose. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then root to rise, coming up to all fours. And then pressing up. So we're going to take our wild thing. With wild thing, we can either take it from all fours. So you can either take it, I just want to show you from here. So you can either just drop the right foot over, bring it down onto the floor. Hang on, let me take it this way. It's probably easier. Okay, so you can just drop your leg over. Come into wild thing here. Or we're going to go up to all fours, go up to downward facing dog and take it from here. If you've got the space in your room. So you take the right leg up to the sky, you bend into the right knee, and then just allow that leg to either release over or just, as I've got a wall here, so mine's just coming to the wall, okay? And then from here, you just lift up and open up. Again, you're checking in with the shoulder. If that's too strong, then just take a variation where you're just moving and playing with the leg here, okay? So do whatever one feels sweet for your body. Coming up to downward facing dog if you're doing the full version. And then lifting the leg, fanning the leg over and releasing if you've got the space and you don't have a wall there like I do. And you just allow your body to come over, open up, take a few little stretches, doing a couple of little heart openers today just to release. And then coming back to downward facing dog or to all fours. And then we're going to take the other side. So extend the opposite leg and you bring it over. See how that feels for you. Either on all fours as I am. And then you release up. Checking in with the shoulder. Yeah, so you're just checking in and just opening up. That's it. Whatever version, if it feels good like this as I'm doing, or from downward facing dog, which is a little bit harder. And then coming back into your all fours, coming down to all fours if you're in downward facing dog. Inhale, extending your right leg. And just draw the right hip so the hip bones are level, navel's drawing back towards the spine, back of the neck is long. Take an inhale. And then exhale, plant your right foot in between your hands, and have a block handy because you might want it for this. So we're going to have a little play with half splits pose. So from here, first of all, we're just going to bring the hands down and just circle into this right hip. Just circling into this right hip and seeing how that feels. Okay, and then from here, we're going to start to extend that right leg back. And it is nice if you have blocks, but if you don't worry. And you're just playing, so you're going backwards and forwards, and you're just opening up into that right hamstring. And just working with the breath, going backwards and forwards. And this is a beautiful place to stay, just here. But if you feel you want to open a little bit more, you can snuggle that right foot forward more and bring the back knee back more and take more of an intense stretch. So just see where you're at. And then just straightening the leg a little bit. There can be a little softness in it, drawing the toes back and just feel into that stretch here. So we're just feeling into it, not going too intense. We're just breathing in to the hamstring. And then maybe have a little bend again, just to check in where you are. Keep going. And if you want to take it a little bit further, or if you're kind of at the level where you want to play with half Hanumanasana, then an easy way to do that, or to start getting into that, is to use a block on the high edge and bring that block down and rest your leg on that block, okay? And you can either just be forward like I am now, or you can start to lift, but it is quite strong. But the key is to keep drawing the toes back and see where you're at, okay? And it may be that today there's not the day for this on a Monday morning, but you may just want to stay wherever you are. And even if your leg's slightly bent, having the block there does kind of let you release and let go a little bit more. So take a breath. And then we're going to try elegantly, never happens, to get that leg back. And then just have a little wiggle out. And we're going to do the other side. Okay, so extending the left leg. And then exhale, bringing the foot in. And then we just have a little play, have a little move, just circling into the hip, noticing how your hip feels today. If you've got blocks, then good. If you don't have blocks, then that's fine. Just feeling in. And then starting to move into this little stretch. And I always think it's very important just to really honour the heart when you're working with the hamstrings, because it's quite easy to, to go too far. So we just want to go gently, moving, seeing how you feel. Maybe you want to just straighten the leg back a little bit, feel into that stretch, draw the toes, a little pinky edge toe back. Option to take this further, to draw the heel further forward and to bring that back knee further back, but see how that feels for you today. An option to bring the block on the high edge and bring it underneath the thigh. And so that gives you the stability, so the body starts to release. And then from here, either just staying here and breathing, or if that's comfortable for you, then you can start to come up. But see how that feels in your body. If it's too strong, really honour your heart. Taking a breath. And if you do this at the end of the day, it is much easier. And then bringing your hands down. If you have a block, then release it. And then bring that right foot back towards you. And take a little moment in child's pose. Take a breath. And then we're going to come on to our backs. Coming on to our backs today, bringing your knees into your belly. Just take a little rock and then extend the left leg. Bring your right foot just above the knee on the thigh. Okay, so the left leg's extended, and then the right leg is going to drop down to the left, and your left hand is just going to ease the outside edge of the leg down to the floor. Okay, so you should feel a nice stretch in the hips, and then your right arm can extend and you look towards the right hand. And breathe. Feeling that lovely stretch in the belly and in the low spine. And then changing sides. So this time you straighten the right leg, the left foot comes on the thigh just above the knee, and then you take your right hand on the outside edge of that left bent leg and draw it down. It may just be a little way, just feeling to how this feeling to how this is feeling in your body. And then the right arm draws that left thigh down. Option to extend the left arm, look towards the left hand. Just see how this is feeling. It's a nice stretch out for the glutes. One more breath. And then come back to the center. Bring both knees into the belly. Take a little rock. And then extend your legs, allowing your body to rest. We'll just take a short shavasana just to absorb. Just taking 3 more breaths here. And then finding a stretch, rolling over to your side or rocking and rolling, making your way up to seated. And let's bring our hands on our heart. We'll just take a few rounds, just 3 rounds of box breath just to finish. So we inhale for 4, we hold for 4. We exhale for 4, we hold out for 4, okay? Here we go. Inhale for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Retain for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold on empty, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold on empty, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Last 2. Inhale, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Retain, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold on empty, 4 for 3, for 2, for 1. Do 1 set by yourself. And then bring your hands together at your heart when you're finished. And let's finish with 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.